First, I want to thank you all for the support. As some of you may already know, this channel was built over the years as primarily a tech channel, and I would like to thank you all for the positive comments and embracing this fellow ape. After some serious brain smoothing and some expensive dates with my wife's 6 boyfriends, apparently the more boyfriends your wife has, the more of an ape you are. So I'm about to start an open house in the United Arab Emirates. Have fun, fellas! My conviction that financial literacy can be more impactful on your lives than helping you decide between a Mac and Windows has grown faster than your ape stum after discovering OnlyFans. But believe it or not, my years in covering tech has taught me a lot about the hype machine, and this machine is relevant in every industry, including stocks. For the trolls who fancy that I've been bought out by the hedgies for the unbelievable price of 3 easy payments of $39.99, I'm going to go ahead and include my Best Buy log so you guys can see that, yeah, even as a tech channel, I was never bought by the big companies out there. I literally voted for these products with my own money, and yeah, that's why I'm a Best Buy Elite member. So for you trolls, call Melvin Capital over and ease each other's pain with some lube. Don't forget your diamond glove and make sure he knows what a good boy he's been. Today I want to talk about AMC CEO Adam Aron and what the interview means for us. Now, congratulations to Trades. You have become the ambassador or the liaison for the apes to the Grand Master ape over at AMC. But I also want to talk about the 500 million share dilution and what it means for AMC and us as stock owners. But before I start, I want to ask a hard question. A very, very hard question. A question no one has really asked. And that question is, theoretically, if the squeeze happened next week, would you vote yes on share dilution? Let me know in the comments below. So Adam Aron. Most of us probably know the career highlights of Adam, who's made a name for himself fixing failing companies like Norwegian Cruise Lines, Vail Resorts, and the Philadelphia 76ers. Hold on. We're going to stop this right here because we have a really avid basketball fan. Applejacks, are the Philadelphia 76ers any good?
Yeah, they're pretty smooth this year.
Adam is a maverick, and in an interview with Variety, he talks about AMC's mask policy. And I quote, "We thought it might be counterproductive if we forced mask wearing on those people who believe strongly that it's not necessary. Yet the wolves of the pandemic and obvious authors of the hype machine forced AMC to backtrack and make masks mandatory." Now, I want to give this some substance here because this was around July of 2020, around the same time when restaurants were saying, hey, you gotta wear a mask to enter, but you could take them off when you begin eating. And this is around the same time that airlines began packing the planes. So I guess social distancing doesn't matter as long as the government has financial interest in the airline industry. Guess masks don't matter as long as your mouth is busy eating, and if you're home by 9. Guess what? COVID is more active than Dogecoin at night. So yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. So again, we have to consider the politics and what 2020 really was. It was just very, very confusing. But now we fast forward and we see that Adam has managed to avoid bankruptcy at least 4 times in the space of just 9 months, and most recently with our help. Now, does Adam owe us anything? We would like to think he does, and personally, yes, I think he does, but I would like to think that we need his help as much as he needs our help, right? And AMC isn't or wasn't a horribly run company. You see, his track record confirms that the man knows a thing or two about recovery, and considering that he's still on the board of Norwegian and is co-owner of the Philadelphia 76ers, I think this man has been around enough conversations on how businesses can go ahead and prop themselves up During the pandemic and post the pandemic, AMC is simply a target of Wall Street greed. During an awkward time when America's 614 billionaires grew their net worth by a collective $931 billion, while millions of Americans lost their jobs. So these billionaires made damn near $1 trillion. AMC became an easy target of the hype machine, the same hype machine that wanted us all to buy 3D HD TVs between 2010 and 2013, and later to herald 4K HDR as the future. The hype machine wants us to believe that AMC is dead, but for the travel sector, it's alive and well. It's easy for the hedgies to promote the cash grab of a failing company because of its financial interest in the same way smartphone makers want us to believe that we need 100-time camera zoom and bezel-less screens. And I tell you what, if you got a camera that can zoom 100 times, I'm gonna call you a fucking creeper. Now, the hype is real. What no one wants to talk about is the domino effect AMC's failure would have on Hollywood studios, or the IMAX big screen format and how it would affect companies like RE, Sony, and Red, who make a ton of money renting out their $16,000 a week cameras to Hollywood studios. $16,000. By the way, you guys know how much it costs to produce these videos? Applejacks, how many cameras do we have in this studio?
We have way too many.
Now let's get back to this. No one talks about the runway Warner Brothers created for Godzilla vs. King Kong by moving Mortal Kombat out to the 25th of April. No one talks about the cash printer Hollywood is with blockbusters such as Top Gun 2 and how Hollywood moved the premiere date to November because big money is riding on that movie. We're talking about big money. We're talking about Tom Cruise here. The hype machine wants you to think that streaming is the future, the same way it hoodwinked us into thinking 3D home theaters were the future. You see, the hype machine is nothing but a cash grab. And yes, Amazon, Disney, Paramount, HBO, and others exploited the easy money of the pandemic, but Hollywood knows that to make serious money, real money, theaters need to stay, and AMC is the largest exhibitor in the country by at least 2 times the screens of its nearest competitor, Cinemark. Yes, streaming filled the gap of necessity, because it absolutely did, as we were imprisoned in our homes by the pandemic. But streaming will never replace the theater in the same way that television never replaced the theater. In the same way we will always go to sporting events, in the same way we will always go to the opera, in the same way we will always go to Broadway and watch the Vagina Monologue, or yeah. That was an interesting play, by the way. So let's cut the BS out of this narrative. Now, the 500 million share dilution. If the squeeze happened this week, I'd change my vote to yes. I think most of us would. I think the interview with AMC CEO and Trace Trades should focus on legally yet cautiously devising a narrative that will get those on the fence excited enough to actually invest in AMC. See, we already own most of AMC at 88.5%. And when it comes to a stock's price action, the supply-demand factor trumps fundamental and technical factors in price action every single time. Just ask the Tesla apes. What we need is more exciting media coverage as opposed to the doom and gloom the hype machine wants to print these days. Like the Motley Fool, like Investor Place, like Yahoo Finance sometimes finds itself, just like, did we just print this? Yeah, we're stuck, right? Yeah, we're kind of stuck. Yeah, we're Yahoo Finance. Our company sucks anyways, and this is why Google beat us nearly 15 years ago. The Trades interview can be a catalyst to the positive energy we need as a community to propel the squeeze, to bring us to the moon, to print the millionaires while giving AMC another lifeline with some firepower. You see, after the squeeze, And after the stock retraces, AMC will have a much higher price valuation with higher levels of support and resistance, as we've seen with GameStop. This would allow AMC CEO to better leverage AMC in the same way GameStop has leveraged their current $11 billion market cap. This becomes a win-win situation. Now, what will we see become of GameStop? No one knows. But the interest is there, and there enough to keep the price valued at currently $155 per share. This was a company that the hedgies bet wrong against. AMC is another company that the hedgies bet wrong against. The news media wants to say that we already went through the squeeze, but as we uncover more and more, we find out that no, the squeeze hasn't even squelched. AMC to the moon. Diamond hands hold it, baby. Peace.